The next wars are going to be fought over water. I mean, water weighs over eight pounds per gallon.
Yeah.
So the shipping of bottled water, then to make the plastic bottle, think of how much oil and energy it takes just to move water. It takes quite a bit.
The oil spent to make DLSHS water bottles could power the most fuel-efficient car 1,520 miles, or from DLSHS to Austin, Texas.
Well, our district water, the two primary districts that we work with are Contra Costa Water and East Bay Mud. The primary difference, I think, is the cost. We pay about $3.45 per unit for Contra Costa Water. East Bay Mud's about $3.55 per unit. 1 unit of water is 748 gallons. I think you pay about $1.50 for 12 ounces of bottled water. So there is a significant cost difference between the two.
Annually, DLSHS spends $300,000 on plastic water bottles. That's enough money to buy 60 Super Bowl tickets. By adding hydration stations to our campus, DLSHS has saved $8,825.
I suppose if you wanted to buy 1 unit of bottled water, you'd probably pay in excess of $11,000 versus $3.45. I think there's a significant savings between the two.
Drinking 8 cups of tap water per day will cost 49 cents per year. Drinking 8 cups of bottled water per day will cost $1,400 per year. That is the equivalent of throwing $175 down the drain every time you get a glass of water out of the tap.
If you go back 20 years in the 1970s when we had a similar drought to the one we have right now, we were actually using the same amount of water in California with 30 million people, 30 million less people. But we got better about it. We got better about water conservation and the things that we do. Now the price has gone up exponentially since then, and it will again in the next, I would say, the next 15 to 20 years. You're probably looking, I would say, anywhere from $6 to $8 per unit versus what we're paying right now. I think there was a study done on how many of the bottles were recycled. I think it was less than 15%, which left another, 75, 80% of bottles that were going back into our landfill. That alone, I think, should convince you to drink tap water.
Yeah.
I mean, the cost and the environmental impact, I think those two things, they kind of go hand in hand.
It takes 2 gallons of water to produce 1 gallon of bottled water.
Well, we have to meet state and federal guidelines and standards for the quality of that water that removes certain bacteria. Bottled water doesn't have to meet those same standards, so you don't know from one bottled water to another what kind of criteria they have to meet. There are some FDA regulations on it, but they're not nearly as stringent as the state and federal regulations that not only those districts have, but throughout the United States. This is a resource that as our population continues to grow, that resource is going to be tapped. The next wars are going to be fought over water.